It's 1 year later, and we've returned to the world famous Atlantis resort on Paradise Island for one of the more highly anticipated culinary events of the year. It's the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. Now, this festival is so much more than just an indulgence into food and wine, it's a celebration of cuisine and craftsmanship and the culture. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the vision of this festival, but more importantly, the people behind the scenes who are making it happen. So get ready for a fun filled episode that features two of my favorite things, food and fun. This is On the Record. I'm your host, Jerome Sawyer, and our journey through paradise begins right after this. So running a festival is a mammoth task. Of course, our guest is no stranger to that. He has responsibility for this entire operation. Jason Spencer is the VP of Marketing, Entertainment, and Special Events. Jason, you are no stranger to
Yes.
On the Record. We had you on last year, so it means something really important when we invite you back, right?
I'm glad to be back.
All right.
I'm glad to be back. I didn't mess up.
No. So let's jump right into it now. For those of you who are watching who've never experienced this before, don't know anything about what we're talking about, let's talk really about what it takes to put this together. Here we are another year, bigger and better, but let's talk really from the ground up what it takes to get us to this point.
Yeah, you know the old adage, it takes a village. Like in this case, it takes an island, right? Literally, the entire island comes together and is galvanized behind this festival. Right, and that's something that we're extremely proud about. Obviously, all of the 8,000 team members at Atlantis, but it goes further than that, right? It goes to our 50 plus partner restaurant staff that we're bringing in and participating to the festival, to our local sponsors and international sponsors abroad. So everyone plays a piece. We're talking 25 plus events, thousands of people, different time slots. I looked at the grid of events the other day and they're overlapping and there's so much logistics involved that it is really an island effort. And we've done some pretty cool things this year to showcase the island more and add to those logistics. Like we're actually taking an event out to Nassau, to our partner restaurant. So you can imagine that's even more logistics and planning and partnership in that. So we're just extremely proud. It takes, multiple thousands of people to pull this off. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
So you talked about the, expanding beyond just the Paradise Island periphery and going to Nassau. So that's pretty significant because It really is, Nassau Paradise Island now. But what or how has this festival evolved, even from last year to this year? What is, how have you seen the evolution of this over the last year?
I think for one, the festival itself just keeps getting more and more notoriety. So from an interest perspective, whether it's these influencers, celebrity chefs, we transitioned from making the calls to getting calls, which is a good place to be in as you curate a festival. And the focal point is for us to continue to showcase our great culinary efforts here, but as well as the island. So a part of that evolution is taking that festival to Nassau, which we're doing for a first time this year, and then just optimizing on events that worked well last year, adding a couple of events where we saw some opportunities, and then one of the significant pieces is talent in terms of musical talent. So if you notice, we've had more of an injection of musical talent this year, right? From Bahaman, Shaggy, to our great local talent, Wendy and KB and Shabak and so on and so forth. So we've really looked at it as, yes, at its core, it's a food and wine festival, but we are going to step it up a notch with our musical talent to just round out that
You know,
experience.
I want to, that's, I think, so significant because the food and wine are obviously the first or the main draw. But when you've got great entertainment, that adds another layer of excitement to something like this.
Yeah, and that's what we've learned and noticed over the years, and plus it's a good way to shake off those pounds that you gain as you're
I
eating
don't know if that got
through the
happen.
wine festival, right? But music is an integral part, right? And it's a chance to showcase culture. It's a chance to just showcase incredible talent and get again these our venues are not stadiums, so it's a chance to get more intimate with a Shaggy, how Wyclef last year, and we
You
got
jump
Shaggy,
down in the
yeah,
crowd and
jump
stand
down
on
in
the
the crowd.
tables.
So
Yeah.
you're not going to get that elsewhere. So it's a cool way to get great talent in unique venues more up close and personal with guests.
And in addition, of course, to the great musical talent, you continue to attract world class chefs and brands. How do you go about continuing, or how do you continue to attract those really high-end chefs and brands that people wanna come and interact with?
Yeah, I think it starts with Atlantis and Atlantis's culinary reputation, right? If you look at the restaurants that we have here, from Nobu to Fish, opening up Field Trip with partnership with J.J. Johnson, Carranza with Michael White. So we already have a great culinary scene, a celebrity culinary scene that people, respect highly. So that makes those asks a little bit easier. And then, like I said, now we're getting folks reaching out to us. So it's exciting for us to have chefs to the caliber of Bobby Flay, come down to the festival, Cardia Brown, Michael Simon, right? These are world-class known chefs, and it just complements what we have here with our own partner chefs like J.J. Johnson, Michael White, and then the extraordinary culinary team here at Atlanta. So it all works together, and it's been doing great.
What's been the impact on tourism? I mean, obviously it's an international festival, but what has been the impact on tourism? And specifically, for this property, what are your numbers looking?
Yeah, the numbers are looking great, and I think one of the best impacts, I would say, is that we are broadening our reach on specific segments, right? So we all know we're great at families and more of the generalists in terms of a tourist, but now we're getting those niche pockets of segments. So the wine enthusiasts, right? The foodie, and these segments. Might not as frequented as much as before, but once they're down here, we're attracting them. They're seeing the culinary scene of Atlantis and Nassau and Paradise Island, and it's just broadening that whole segment. So in terms of the festival numbers, they're great. We're growing every year, but the excitement is around. We are attracting new people to the resort, to the island, with different interests, different ideas, and that's great.
Are you expanding your local audience as well? Are more Bahamians attending?
We are, and I think that's a direct correlation with our continued expansion of our partner restaurants, right? So I don't have the last count, but it's probably over 50 partner restaurants participating in this year's Wine and Food Festival. And then again, like I said, we're going out into Nassau, bringing folks on an island food tour where they're going to stop at Wild Time, stop at the London, stop at Solmar, stop at Bon Vivant, and really get a full taste of the island, along with a celebrity chef, Michael Simon, as well. So we're excited about that. And I think that inclusiveness has really hit home with our local residents, and they are showing it with their participation in the festival.
Fantastic. I mean, if it's any indication, we're back. a second year to talk about this in the showcases, because we realize how important it is, but how exciting it is.
Yes.
And so many people, are interested in participating. Our final question, as we get ready to wrap up this segment with you, is what's next, the future? I mean, obviously we're just at the kickoff of this year's festival, but I'm sure you're already thinking about the future and what's to come. So what can we expect from future festivals?
Yeah, I think one, we're going to continue to expand the partnership, the local partnership, which I talked about, and maybe look to expand bringing folks to Island. I think music is going to be a big part of the festival going forward. It's already a big part now, but how can we continue to raise the bar with musical talent? And then finally, I think we're going to continue to find unique spaces to host events in, because that's something that's really resonating with our guests when they're able to experience a wine tasting up in the Bridge Suite, right? So there's certain venues that we have that are
makes the
pretty
experience
unique, and it just really elevates that experience. So I think between unique venues, musical talent, and Island partnership, that's how we're going to continue to evolve this. And of course, the core is with our culinary team and the celebrity chefs.
Jason, congratulations again to you, the amazing staff here at Atlantis, to be able to pull this all together. Like you said, it's not just a village, it's an island to pull this off again. And we're certainly looking forward to the rest of the weekend, what this all means, and taking it all in, and being able to share this with our audience. So, I know it's a lot of work. I can't even begin to imagine all the logistics and the work involved, but you guys are really doing it and doing it well. So I just want to congratulate you and encourage you and thank you for bringing this. As a Bahamian, I'm happy that this is here. This gives me something to do, and there are thousands of others like me who are happy for the opportunity. We don't have to jump on a plane to go and catch it. So thank you very much.
That's great to hear. And thank you for continuing to shine a light on this and really get the word out about it.
Listen, as long as you all have us, we coming.
Sounds good. That works for me.
All right. Thank you very much, Jason. So stay with us. You're watching On the Record. We're going to be back with more right after this. And welcome to On the Record. We are in one of my favorite locations on this property. This is Cafe Martinique. Not only is it beautiful, but it certainly holds a bit of nostalgia for those of us who are old enough to remember. But it certainly is a place that I love coming. But more than that, I'm here to talk about one of my favorite events, annual events, which is the Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. I'm joined by Anthony Anna. He's the Senior Vice President of Food and Beverage here at the resort. Anthony, first of all, welcome to On the Record.
Thank you. Great to be here.
You should be welcoming me. This is your space. But
glad to have you here.
Most definitely. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the process of selecting the food and beverage vendors for something like this. You think about a festival and you think, oh, well, you just invite folks, but obviously there is a process. So, how do you go about sort of selecting who comes and what they do?
First thing that comes to mind is, representing the Bahamas and the beautiful produce and everything that we have in the Bahamas. I guess you can do food festivals anywhere globally these days, and there's plenty going on. But what makes this unique and what makes it special, and I think we want to showcase from the Bahamas or from the region, a lot of the chefs who are participating also gravitate to that. So it tells a story, a sense of belonging, and why people would come here, get a flavor and a taste of the Bahamas or the Caribbean.
But you do bring a great balance. So how do you sort of bring that balance between your international flavors and your Bahamian flavors?
I guess it's crossing over, and some of the chefs that we work with, some of our partners, are fantastic in that. When they come down here and they explore the local produce, whether it's the seafood or what it would be, they get inspired by it. Why fly something halfway across the globe when you've got beautiful produce on your doorstep, and why not make use of that? Fresh produce is always the best produce, and it's freshest if it's local. So some chefs will gravitate to that, and then there will be other things. There will always be, when you get into wines and cheeses and specialty products, they'll be, need to be imported because they're unique.
Sure. How do you, or is there a particular criteria for your vendors to ensure that we maintain that standard, that is not just indicative of this festival, but certainly of the resort?
Yeah, well, volume is the first thing that comes to mind, and significant volumes that we deal with here, and the swings of business. So you'll be able to handle the volume of food at that quality point that we require is no small feat. So we have to work closely with our vendors and partners to make sure that we are, working as much in advance as possible to give them sort of the best opportunity to provide frequently.
Sure. Sustainability and sourcing are big topics in the culinary world. How do you incorporate these elements into this festival?
That's just grown over the years. I think, over the last 10 or so years, the provenance of food and where it's coming from, customers are more, asking the right questions about where does the produce come from and what am I eating, whether that's written into the menu descriptions or part of the core product that we're going to market with. So we need to just, just be early in the planning and make sure that we source that out correctly from reputable partners, and they exist, whether that's US based, locally or globally. There are key players that we will tend to go to because of guarantees in terms of supplies and consistency.
And it's interesting because, as you mentioned, the sustainability and people asking questions about the food and where's it being sourced from and how is it being grown. Do you find that increasingly your customers are more interested in that?
Yes, definitely. And especially the more you get into the upmarket dining segment, people are definitely more into understanding what they're eating, and people are much more educated and exposed to all the backstories these days around provenance and how things are, whether it's sustainable seafood or how is it caught, is it a farm seafood, or different options that are available on the market. So yeah, our customers are more aware, chefs are definitely more aware. And I think people are trying to, make sure that the food relates to their concept. At the end of the day, if you are a Mediterranean restaurant or a French restaurant, you want to make sure that the produce speaks to the cuisine properly.
All right. How do you ensure there's something for everyone, from casual food lovers to fine dining enthusiasts?
Well, that's such a broad spectrum.
And I'm kind of like somewhere there right in the middle.
In the middle, yeah. And we all are. And, our customers, just because they're a fine dining customer today, doesn't mean that tomorrow they won't want to have something casual and more approachable. Sure. Everybody plays along that spectrum. So great food and quality can be at every point along that spectrum. Just because you're doing something at a mid price point doesn't mean that the quality shouldn't be up there, and it can't be, if it's simple food, but it's still the greatest fried chicken and waffles or whatever it will be, it still has to be great chicken and great waffles.
Great point. What are some of the biggest logistical challenges in bringing this together? Because the reality is it's a lot of people, it's a lot of food, it's a lot of movement. And so it's a lot of logistics. So talk to us about some of the challenges with the logistics of it all.
Yeah, well, planning is key. And being from a culinary background, it's all about the mise en place or the preparation of it. So the more we're prepared in much earlier out, the better the event's going to be. We're also going to be able to enjoy the event. Our chefs and our service staff and our bartenders, they're all going to be able to enjoy it much more if it's well planned and well organized. So we try to work we've been on this for 3-4 months out in terms of planning, working with the partner chefs coming in. What's the menus? What's the ingredients? How do we logistically get it out to the different sites across the resort? What's the requirement? How do we, temperature control and safely transport things around? So there is a lot of planning in it, but if that's done early in the piece and we have a good game plan going into the festival, it's going to run a lot smoother.
And all of this while the hotel continues to operate.
Oh yeah.
So it is business as usual everywhere else around the resort.
Yeah, it's running a race and planning for the next race at the same time.
Fantastic. What are you personally excited about this year for the festival?
I think it's a great melting pot when you have different chefs coming in. We have our partner chefs such as Michael White and Jose Andres, who work with us over a long period of time. But then we also bring in new partners and local partners, and everybody comes together. So it creates quite a synergy, quite a good buzz at the event, and everybody's looking what each other's up to. So it's good for the participants as it is for our customers.
Sure, Anthony, I want to congratulate you for just even getting to this point and being able to pull this off. This is a mammoth task. We're excited and always happy to be here to talk about it and invite folks to come. And, you know, I'm sure your guests love it, but I can tell you, as Bahamians, we love the opportunity as well. We get to come to a food festival just by driving over the bridge, and that means a whole lot to us. So keep up the good work.
Great.
You know, looking forward to getting out there again and tasting and interacting.
Love it. Yeah.
All
Look
right.
forward to having everybody over. Thank you.
Most definitely. So stay with us. We'll be back right after this. And we are back here on the record in beautiful Cafe Martinique. One thing about this job I do love is that from time to time I get to sit at beautiful venues like this and have these amazing guests. So, though a huge selling point for this festival is the international cuisine, executives also make it a point to include local vendors. Our conversation continues with two of those local vendors who are going to be here. They are some of the proprietors who are being featured at this year's festival. First up is Aslan Blanc, owner of Dudon's Kitchen. So aside from having a very unique and beautiful name, you have a very unique restaurant as well. So first of all, welcome to the show. Tell me a little bit, very quickly, about the name of your restaurant, which is very unique.
Well, the name of our restaurant, Dudon's Kitchen, is actually my mother's nickname. The restaurant was created for her around the time when we launched our business. I lost my dad, we lost our father, he lost a husband, and to assist her with her grieving process, we decided to keep her busy in the kitchen. Food has always been a form of therapy in our family, and so we created Dudon's Kitchen using her unique nickname, and we started 2020 January, and we are here today.
I guess you can probably tell I'm really good with therapy. If food is a therapy. Okay, so first of all, though, congratulations on
Thank you.
being a part of this year's Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. What does this opportunity mean for you?
This opportunity is very exciting and both humbling at the same time. Being able to showcase our cuisine on a larger stage, being able to connect with fellow foodies such as myself.
You can add me in.
It's a pretty amazing opportunity, and it also validates all of the hard work that we've put towards our brand to take it to where it is today.
So you're going to be really head and shoulders with international chefs, dishes from all over the world. How is that? I mean, you're getting ready for it. How do you feel about being able to stand toe to toe with these folks?
Well, for us, this is our second opportunity being at the Atlantis Food and Wine Festival. And just as we were very humble and very excited the first time, we are even more so excited to be able to showcase our food on yet the same larger platform, to be able to rub shoulders, like you said, with all of the famous chefs that are going to be here. For us, it allows the opportunity to network. It provides us with the opportunity to collaborate in the future, and we're looking forward to everything that it has in store for us.
So I have to ask, while you were here last year, did you pick up anything? Did you see anything interesting that the other international chefs you were doing? You thought, maybe we can incorporate that? Or was it just, hey, I'm just here to showcase who we are and what we do and what we have to offer?
Well, we actually did incorporate one or two things onto our menu. We dove a little deeper into our stews.
Now, stew.
Yes.
When you say stew,
Yes.
what kind of stews?
We're talking about our conch stews. We're talking about our mutton stews. We're talking about our oxtail stews, our chicken, our turkey, our fish. We cannot forget the fish. And so we've dove a little deeper into our stew dishes. Yes.
So already I can see where this is a benefit to you because you are able to do different things just from being, within the same environment with international chefs. So it's already a benefit
It is.
to you.
Yes, and also all of the new customers that we have gained since our first experience. And the more that are going to come during our second, both locally and internationally. Yes.
And again, I want to go back to something you said. It helped you to expand your customer base. So people who would have tasted your food have since come to the business after, looking for more.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Fantastic. So let's talk a little bit about the future. What are your future goals? I mean, obviously this is your second year, as you've said. You've been doing this business since your dad passed, hoping to give your mom something to do. But obviously, it's now become a business.
It became a lot more than we anticipated.
I'm sure.
Yes, yes, it is, and we're very grateful and very grateful to our supporters as well that have assisted with getting it this far. Because we can't do it without us.
Sure, and I'm sure a platform like this has really helped to
Yes.
propel you to the next level.
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. I just want to say, consider a location in the east. I'm sorry, in the west. Okay, that's where I live. No, but
Both.
seriously,
Let's say both. Consider
Both.
one in the east and the west.
I'm a Westerner. I just have to say,
Which is
so
why we
I'm
need
always
both.
very biased. But it's a great idea because people are stretched all over the island.
Yes.
And what I think is always so funny, Nassauvians act like it is so far to drive from one end of the island to the next. Oh my God, you're all the way in the east. Traffic is a problem. All right. For those who've never tasted your food before, what can they look forward to at this year's festival?
Well, they're definitely going to look forward to bold and amazing flavors. What we did was we took one of our most favorite dishes from our menu and created something very trendy, something very unique. And instead of just serving a regular taco, we took our pork grill and took the plantains and turned the shell of a taco we used the plantains and turned the shell of a taco into the plantain taco shell. We're gonna have the pork grill in the taco, and you're gonna get to experience a complete grill in your mouth in one bite, all at once.
Did you just hear my breathing go very shallow? Oh, it sounds amazing.
Thank you.
I know that this is a busy time for you, so we want to get you out there and make sure that you were able to greet all of the guests. Congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
second year.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
you did
Thank
something
you.
great
Thank you.
for them to bring you
Extremely
back.
long lines.
Really?
Oh, extremely
Excellent,
long lines.
excellent.
Yes.
Busy is good. Busy
Yes.
is good. Eh?
Yes.
So all the best to you. Looking, hey, and when you see my face down there later, like, hey,
I will
got
save
you.
some for you.
Listen,
I will save some.
You see why it's my favorite?
We had people that we literally had to save their, yes, we had to
Awesome.
save it and hide it away.
Awesome. All right.
Yes.
I have other guests coming in and I'll use my favorites. Now I gotta split myself out. But all the best to you. Continue to do great work. And thank you for stopping by and talking
Thank
with us.
you.
We'll see you down there later on.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so very much. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this. I'm also happy to welcome to the couch here at Cafe Martinique, Xavier Roll Higgs, the
Yes, sir.
proprietor of POW, Pancakes, Omelets, and Waffles. Let me tell you something. I did not realize that she was coming on until I started reading the script. POW is one of my favorites.
I feel so good to hear that.
You all do an amazing job.
Oh, thank you. We love serving customers like you, and I'm sitting with Dee Jerome, so I'm happy to have that.
And listen, I'm always happy to talk about food.
Yes, I'm a foodie as well.
So as we started to talk, even before we came on, you started telling me you've been in operation for 8 years.
8 years. Of course, it was a process. We started humble beginnings, our small food truck, back in 2017 at the Rum Festival. I will never forget. Our debut was there, and then we grew to a bigger truck, and then we could not contain the customers, and we had to evolve into a brick and mortar. So here we are today.
Amazing. So again, congratulations on being a part of this Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. What is this opportunity for you? You've been in the business 8 years. People know you, but now you're a part of something bigger, something greater. What is this opportunity?
Brand exposure. I mean, to be placed in the front of thousands of persons who've never seen or heard about your brand speaks volumes. Last year, we gained international customers because there was one particular guy, he kept coming back. People keep talking about these things that you're serving. I brought my friend, and they just kept bringing people. I was
Friend bring
like,
friend, bring
friend. Yeah, and before you knew it, nobody else could get no more because they ate all. So they increased the number, of course, for this year.
Of course. But having that international exposure, I mean, obviously the Bahamian public has been good to you.
They have.
But now you have international clientele. What does that mean for your brand?
We've become a household name. That it means that we are credible. Now we may be thinking about expanding internationally.
Nice.
That's what that means.
So you may be thinking.
We're thinking about it, and we're working on it.
Right.
Of franchising the brand power. Yes.
Fantastic. Well, I can tell you, based on your food consistency, you certainly can. People say you can romp with the people on an international scale.
But I really am happy to and humbled to hear that.
What can festival goers expect from your booth this time around? Any surprises? Anything different?
So we like to differentiate from what we serve in the restaurant. Last year we did a secret sauce that we don't serve in the restaurant, a sweet chili. This year it's a mystery sauce and a mystery waffle. So we're sticking with our niche, wings and waffles, but doing a mystery sauce. So at our booth we're going to be saying, what do you think that wing sauce is? And we're going to make it interactive because we want the energy to flow at the event.
Nice. So again, taking into consideration your exposure last year,
Yes.
coming off of that festival and that participation, what did that do for your business?
Increased customer clientele, loyal customers we gained. We were able to introduce that same menu item that we served at the event. We introduced that same sauce, sweet chili, and it's selling like crazy. It's our top seller, actually, with the sauces.
The mystery sauce may be on the menu.
The mystery sauce that we're serving this year,
Oh, the mystery waffle, right?
the mystery waffle that we're serving this year may become a part of our menu once it's well received.
Sure. So I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked our last guest here on the couch. Were there some things that you were able to pick up from last year's event that you incorporated or caused you to do something a little differently based on the fact that you were among so many other international chefs and presenters? Is there something you took away or some things you took away from the festival?
So, yes, we're getting ready to feature, I don't want to cost everybody in the world to come to Powell, but the lamb rack and waffles. So, yes, we're going to call it Rolly Rack, my dad's favorite recipe. It's succulent. Oh my God, it's awesome. So,
Why'd you say lamb?
lamb and waffles. Listen, that is the plug. So, that's something that we said we're going to really pair it up with some unique flavors. So, we're pairing waffles and lamb.
Bahamians are very patriotic in instances like this. You know, we love our international cuisine. We love our international guests and presenters. But do you find people have a sense of pride when they come to an event like this and they see their own head and shoulders with international chefs and cuisine and these world famous folks? And here are our people in the same space.
Yes, the Bahamians have a sense of pride and they do support. I mean, we have a lot of Bahamian supporters that drive from west to east. And they say, oh, y'all got to come back all the way. They row us all the time. So we know we have to do it. But they make me feel so proud. And they make me keep on my toes to make sure that we are consistent and we're doing what we have to do. Because to keep them, Bahamians funny. So to keep Bahamians, you have to keep up a good job and make sure they return.
What does it mean, though, to have an organization like Atlanta see the importance of having you in this set, having you as a part of this event at this venue?
It shows that they deem us as credible. They deem us as a brand recognized as a high quality brand in the Bahamas. And so it gives us humility to come and represent the Bahamas at this festival. And it's going to allow us to network. It's going to allow us to collaborate with international influencers. And so it means a great deal. I got my training at Atlantis, and so I have a sense of pride.
This home for you.
This home for me.
Okay.
Professionalism, I got that here, like enhanced professionalism. and training. So when Atlantis calls, I'm here.
Fantastic. That is
Yes.
great news. You know, my last question was, what can people expect? But you don't tell me.
Sorry.
You have answered that, which is fine, which is great. So I just want to say to you, you know I say my last guest was my favorite, but I ain't gonna lie, you was really my favorite. When I read in the script, I was like, Paul, yeah?
And I know you like a crack conch and waffles.
You know.
When we say Jerome, I say Jerome like the conch. Make sure that fluffy nice.
I appreciate you.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'll be down in a bit to check you out and see what all you've got down there this year. I'm looking forward to the mystery waffle. I certainly will be on that line to taste, and
Yes.
I encourage folks who are coming out to participate as well. And guess what? If you don't catch it this time, definitely come to the location afterwards.
Yes.
To be a part.
But
So-
you gotta say pow, Jerome.
I don't say pow.
You gotta say pow with energy.
Pow!
Oh,
There
that's
you
what I'm
go.
talking about.
So listen, all the best to you.
Thank
Congratulations for being, brought back another year. We wish you
Yes.
all the best. Continue to make us proud.
Yes,
We
sir.
take pride in things Bahamian that are really great and high quality, and you represent it. So,
Thank you,
I
thank
see
you.
you
Thank you,
soon.
Bahamas.
yeah, have my waffles. They're coming soon.
Okay, no
All
problem.
right. So thank you very much. When we come back, what is a festival without entertainment? We're going to be talking to some familiar faces. You're going to really get to know how old I am in just a bit when I'm talking to these guys. You're watching On the Record. We're going to be back right after this. All right, so no festival is complete without amazing music, and with global hits and anthems that really get the crowd moving, and a legacy, a real legacy that continues to put Bahamian music on the map. They're set to take the stage tonight in just a short time as headliners for the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. So you've got great food, good wine, incredible music. All right, we're catching up with a band that's headlining tonight, and we're going to hear all about who they are and what they're doing here tonight. But I have to first start out by telling you I was super excited when I heard they were on the lineup for the show. I said, find them, get them, I want to talk. Folks, I'm so happy to have two incredible members of Bahaman with us tonight. Gentlemen, Rick Carey and Herschel Small. Listen, I want y'all to know, like, there are times I'm excited about the show, and then there are times I am really excited about the show, and today I'm up here. So first of all, how you been?
You've been great, man.
Yeah.
Been putting in that work, as you can see. The legacy we're continuing as long as we can. We have some great stuff that is happening with the band now. Getting ready to drop a new song. We just finished the music video. I won't reveal too much because we want to do a press release, a proper press release for it.
Okay.
But it's an exciting time, and to be on this show and represent the Bahamas, what better way? We're very, very excited about this, and we're ready and prepared.
Herschel, you all are headlining tonight. So as a matter of fact, I can't talk long because I know you're going to get downstairs and do what you got to do. But what does it mean for you to still be able to headline at an event like this? This is an international event. We have chefs and folks from all over the world along with our local folks. But what does it mean for you to be able to headline at a show like this?
Well, it's quite significant, First of all, to be blessed with a single that has lasted, that is kind of been put to the test of time. People still get excited about that. So that's pretty huge for us. I guess for any group. 25 years, 25
And
years.
just
later,
context, 25 years
years,
since Who
that's
Let
right.
the Dogs Out.
Since
Yes,
we
sir.
let the dogs out. Exactly.
I can't even conceptualize. I'm like, it's been 25 years.
It's 25 years, and we're still together as a unit, as a band. We still rehearse. We still do what we got to do. When it's time to tour, we're ready to go. But we're blessed to still be a unit. We're blessed to still be all in good health, and we're still out there doing what we got to do.
Listen, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what setting you're in, whenever Who Let the Dogs Out plays, people identify with it.
Yeah.
They groove to it. They get it. No matter where they are. I've been all over the world and I've seen people. I'm like, you can hardly speak English. They singing the songs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does that engender? Oh, what kind of pride does that engender in
Well, I think it struck a chord with man's best friend first of all. So we're so happy that kind of happened. You know, no one foresaw that to the point, and with the reach that it had.
Yeah.
So it struck a chord with man's best friend, and then it also so many people use dogs as a part of their name, as a part of their logo.
Yep.
So that whole thing had quite an impact, more than we expected, actually.
Yeah, you see how it spread like wildfire, basically.
Yeah.
You know, it started out with the kids, and then, well, it started out with the sporting arenas, actually.
Sporting
it started with
arenas.
baseball, then it ventured off into football, and then soccer, and then basketball, and then so on and so forth. You know, it's just, you know, it is what it is.
And you won a Grammy for it.
Absolutely.
Do you think? Yeah, and I remember that happened, and I remembered the pride that Bahamians felt
Yeah.
when that happened. Do they still hold on to that? Do they still remember that? Do people still remind them?
Some people who were there in that
My
era,
age, eh?
Well, our age, I mean, you know, we're in the same boat, but I mean, you know, it's good to hear and see and be reminded from people on the street, you know, people you haven't seen from since that time. I get approached and they'd be like, well, you remember, for instance, the parade, you know, the motorcades that we've, you know,
And then also
It's-
too,
it was-
you all appeared like in the
we were
Macy's
everywhere.
Thanksgiving Day parade
Yeah.
on two occasions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is significant. I think Bahamians don't even realize or don't appreciate what that did for the Bahamas and for Bahamians.
It's promotion that you really can't pay for, and to be able to represent our country, you know, in this capacity at that time, that was really, really special, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
I won't forget it. I was a young reporter, you know, and covering that, we were so excited to be able to do that. But that was your international hit.
Yeah.
But you all have been putting out hits, and since then have continued to put out hits. And I want to talk about those songs as well that still are near and dear to the Bahamians. You're going to perform a couple of them tonight, no doubt.
Absolutely.
But certainly, you know, we know the big hit, but those other hits really resonate and continue to resonate with us.
Yeah. Example, you know, I still get a lot of love for Night and Day, which was the type of song that really it honed in on our culture, and it really, really showed the family togetherness and how we actually party in our backyard with our family and friends, you know. So that was really touching for a lot of Bahamians, and we still get a lot of positive comments on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, well, like you said, Back to the Island was one of those that really struck a chord locally. Back to the Island and Gin and Coconut Water.
I like Gin and Coconut Water. That's my favorite.
Yeah. We go to the classics.
Gin and Coconut Water is my
We're
favorite.
doing all of them.
And people are still drawn to them.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, what is it that keeps you all going as a group? You know, to be together all this time, to continue to work together to create music. That's something special. You know, it's hard to keep people together in any event, but to be able to do that after all these years, what's the magic? What's the secret sauce? What keeps you all together?
For me, I think it's looking forward to doing better work still. Because I think, you know, there's work to be done, and I think we can do it. I think we're poised at this time. We're poised to perhaps do something historic, even more reaching and more historical for the Bahamas. And I think it's just a matter of time. If we continue to hold it together, I think it will happen with our continued strive for creativity, you know, and putting a lot of pride in what we do. I think it will happen.
I think it all starts with basically the passion, you know, with each of us. We're all seasoned musicians. You know, we have some new faces as well, and but each of us brings something to the table. But when we all get together, it's the excitement of it. You know, the final product, the rush, the feeling, the responses from the crowd. I mean, for me, I'm the crowd. I interact with the crowd very often. So when I see them reacting to our music and singing the words, and
It's magic.
you know, it's the greatest
I
feeling in
have
the
been
world.
in
for
the
me.
crowd. It is magic. It
greatest
is a
feeling in the world for me.
connection that people have. That and we're going to see it again very soon
Yeah.
tonight when you all perform.
Yeah.
But again, being able to perform um, in front of a mixed crowd, because you've got Bahamians who are in the crowd, you've got an international audience. They will know obviously the major hit and some of the other hits.
Yeah.
But what is that? What are you looking forward to? In the venue and performing for that crowd tonight.
Well, we have something for everybody. Our albums are very eclectic, but we also stick to our roots of the foundation, which is John Canoe and Rake and Scrape. Little bit of something for everybody, for our audiences here and abroad, and it's just gonna be fun from start to finish, man.
And in your travels, you're not just a local band. You've achieved that international success. You travel with the music. When it comes to that native, authentic Bahamian sound, are people around the world still embracing it as they always were? Are they looking for more? How is it received? I'm always curious about how our culture is received elsewhere.
Well, I think it's very well received, and I think it a lot is dependent on what you do with it. Like, I like to call it pop Caribbean. So we try to steer our songs in more of a pop genre, and we just fuse it, as much as possible with the local ingredients. But yeah, so once you find that formula, then you will be accepted pretty much in any genre.
Which brings me to my next questions. How do you keep relevant with the audience? And I mean that because music has changed so much. I find myself listening less and less to what is the new music and moving towards it, because that's just me, and I'm familiar with that. But how do you sort of keep your audiences engaged? How do you keep people engaged? How do you keep pace when the music and the scene and even vocals have changed so much? I don't hear people singing as much anymore. Well, I'm the untrained ear, but I say to myself often, this sounds like very much studio assisted, or I'm not quite sure this is authentic. But how do you sort of keep up with the changing genres of music and with the changing platforms?
Well, we're all from an analog era of music, and so we've been fortunate to see the transition of the technology from how we used to record from analog to digital. And everybody always, they favor analog because of the warmth of the sound.
Most definitely.
So,
Thank you for explaining that, because I couldn't.
No problem.
Why does it sound better to me? Warmth of the sound. Thank you.
Yeah, that's the techie side of me.
Yeah.
I'm a studio rat. So, but I mean, wherever we go, because we also do a lot of recording abroad in other people's studios. So we have to work with what's there. And we've always had a pulse on what's popping, basic. See? Yeah. That was Zaya. Ready? Are you ready to go?
Yeah. Okay. Okay. We ready? Okay. How much time we got left?
You have about 4 minutes.
Okay. All right. So just pick up from where you were.
Good question again.
I need you to turn that off, please. Or put that on silent. Yeah. Okay.
Are you good now?
So I was going to say, we keep listening. We listen to everything, pretty much.
Pulse, it's all about
But we keep
pulse.
our ears, to the ground. We keep our ears open. We listen to all the new stuff that comes out. And of course, we have the older stuff that we know, but we listen to those also. And we kind of, and that's how we kind of keep current, because we borrow from influences, and we mesh it together and make it our own.
And I gotta ask you, when you're on stage, you talked about, playing to the crowd and feeding off the crowd. When you're on stage, how do you know if you got them? How do you know? I mean, obviously people are gonna be moving. How do you know you are hitting the right chord with the folks in the audience?
Well, their reaction is that's the first thing.
Reaction.
They are saying what you say, and sometimes you don't have to say it. So if you have them, like, for instance, there are certain songs that is interactive with the audience, and we tell them what to do, and it's all in the name of fun. We tell them to go left, we tell them to go right, and they do that because sometimes
If you say go left and they ain't moving, that's a problem.
well, yeah, but then you find another way. You just find another
okay.
way with interacting with them. Because sometimes some audiences, they don't want to move. They just want to stay and enjoy the music.
Sure.
But then when you find that there's that small niche of people in the crowd that they willing to party with you, you grab them and you hold on to them, because that's where it's gonna,
They're going to influence
it's gonna
the
start.
rest.
It's gonna influence the rest.
Yeah.
You know, so that's pretty much how we do it.
So we started the segment talking about really how, wine and food festival and great entertainment. People are looking for experiences nowadays, and so this is something that happens often. People come to, have good food, have some nice beverages, but they also want entertainment.
Right.
And so do you think there's room for more of these? Atlanta has done a great job of bringing it all together. But do you think, there's room for more?
Yes, definitely. With the Bahamas is a melting pot of excellent entertainment. And this will only, we're here, but then next year it'll be someone else, and so on and so on and so forth. The world gets to see what we have to offer in terms of our musical heritage and our cultures and our groups and our artists. And, we have so much to offer. And this is an excellent platform to showcase a lot of talent.
Always room for more, yes. I agree 100%.
People come to the Bahamas, they want to hear Bahamian music.
Yep.
Yeah. They want to see Bahamians, they want to have that interaction. And this is the way to give it to them.
Absolutely.
And with a recognizable name.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you say you wasn't gonna say too much about it, but I know you got some future. I know you got some future plans. I feel some kind of way y'all do a video and didn't ask me to participate. Everything cool.
Next time.
Yeah, next time. Actually, I was talking about it on the show. When I was in high school, I wanted to dance in music videos. I can't repeat what my mother said. Anyway, needless to say, I got put on together
Next time.
full education. But tell us a little bit about your future project. I know you can't reveal everything, but tell us exactly, what's in the works and what can we look forward to in the future.
Definitely, I could go there. And I think I already discussed about us. We're doing with a new release. It's going to be dropping March 28th. Yeah.
Okay.
The video, I don't know when the video will drop, but the video is ready. I saw it. It's excellent. Got an excellent team shooting that. And then we're also going to be doing some traveling. I'm doing some promo in New York, LA. We're going to head back in the studio. That never stops. Always in and out of the studios. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting year. And we also just locked down a deal with a very reputable company called Spruce. It's going to be a new product, a new gardening product. So some great things are going to be happening for the band this year. You're going to see a lot more.
Yeah, we do have quite a bit also in the process. So so we do have some studio time, like you said, and we're still writing.
So, gentlemen, first of all, I want to say congratulations for continuing to be that beacon of pride for the Bahamas and for Bahamians.
Appreciate it.
Talk about Who Let the Dogs Out 25 years ago. That dates me. I remember going. I told you when I went to New York when the album became platinum.
I remember.
And I was a young reporter. Yes, young, 25 years ago. But I remember that the pride it engendered across the country.
Yes.
And still today, you say Baham and Bahamians set up and they take it.
Yes.
And they want to hear from you. I'm excited to see what the crowd's going to be like tonight. And I have no doubt y'all can bring performance. So I could change too because I can't go there. I can either put on something I can do. All right. But gents, I just want to say congratulations to you. We're excited to have you as a part of this event as a Bahamian. I'm proud to know that my own will be performing on that stage out there in front of this audience. And I'm happy to know that you all still are together and continue to do this. That speaks volumes. Yeah. That speaks volumes. 25. Some people can't say married that long. Y'all an old group. Wow. So thank you again. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And I promise you, my producer can kill me, but I promise I want to bring you back later on in the year. We're going to dedicate an entire hour because I want to talk. There's some other fellas in the group I want to talk to as well. I know they have plenty to say. I ain't got no name. But I want to, because we want to talk about, sort of what this journey has been for you. So that's an open invitation for you all of you all to come back.
Appreciate that.
I can't sing, I can dance a little bit, so we can see what we can do. Listen, all the best to you.
Thank you.
All right, I know you got to
man.
get onto your performance. Folks, stay with us. We're going to be back on the record right after this. What an incredible journey it's been behind the scenes here at the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival. Now, after all of this talking, it's time to do what we really came here to do, and that's to dig into the great culinary experiences and all of the great bites and delights that this festival has to offer. A huge thank you to the Atlantis Resort for this ongoing partnership and for accommodating us, certainly on this property, but even so, here at the beautiful Cafe Martinique. We really, really appreciate that. And to you, our viewers, thank you for taking this journey with us. As always, we appreciate you. So, it's not too late. Even though the festival has started, you do have time to come and join us. One bit of advice, though, get here early because there's lots to see and do. So, if I don't see you soon, I certainly will see you next time. We're out.